Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Saturday night, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson. It's Politi-tics from UntetheredLive. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Loosen your tie. Let's have a little conversation. How are you doing? Tonight, we're going to talk about Bondi, Blathering, Bounty, Blunder, but basically backfiring and making herself look silly. Apparently, she offered a $50,000 reward, or $50 million reward, for I think it's $50,000, for leading to the arrest of Maduro, the president of El Salvador, to which he responded by saying, I'll also offer the same amount of money for any of the Epstein files. So, there's kind of a catch-22 there, kind of a smack her in the face, make her look silly moment. Anyway, go Trump team. Doing a good job over there. Amy Elizabeth is first in chat, and she says, hi, or hello, Jake, Amanda, and Untethered Live family. I just popped in to say hi. Press the like button and share. I'm exhausted. Me too. Might not stay long. Might not stay long. Love y'all. Me too. 'Cause I can't talk. But I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you, baby. I wish I could sing. Patty says, hello, Amy Elizabeth. It's really Patty. You know, how are you, Patty? Nice to see you. Amy says, hi, Patty. And Amanda says, here's your gold star, Patty. I mean, Amy.
Amy. Yeah, my mic wasn't on.
Yeah, turn your mic on.
That might help.
It might help. Aaron says, I'm here for a minute. Well, Jesus, I might as well just shut down shop and go to bed. Everybody's going to bail on me. That's all right. I understand. Life goes on. I got a nice hot cup of coffee. That's all that matters. Could be hotter, but it's a cup. It's a cupper. Amy says Aaron might not make it. He's dealing with family issues. He's here. And Amanda says, hi, Amy and Patty.
Hi, Amy and Patty.
Yep, you do that. I'll do this. Patty says, hello, Miss Amanda and her man, Jake. And all the people, hello. Hello. Aaron says, I got to work out with my son. Well, you got to pump iron, man. That's important. I wish I could work out with my son. I have no idea what he looks like. But he doesn't have this forearm. I can tell you that.
Hello, Aaron.
Amy says, hi, Aaron. I was just talking about you. Were your ears ringing? Amy says, I'm exhausted. Me too. I just got home from work like 45 minutes ago. I took a 20-minute nap, and here I am. Aaron says, I see you always in my head, and I'm yours. Oh.
And I'm in yours.
Oh, I'm in yours. Right. I missed the end part. I like mine better. It's more romantic.
Aww.
Oh. Amy says, but hey, I worked overtime today and got free donuts. Nice. 3 dozen of the good ones. They were smashed and didn't want to serve them. Hey, donuts are donuts. It don't matter if they're smashed. Take those donuts and enjoy. I'd like to have a donut myself.
You are a donut.
I am round and I do have a hole in the center.
Hello, Amy. That's awesome. Smashed ones eat just the same?
It tastes good too. As long as they're not on the outside of the box.
I mean, they could even be smashed to the top of the box.
Amy says they're the cream-filled Long Johns and a dozen with cherry filling. Ugh. If I'm going to have an eclair, which is what a Long John is called, I would like to have one with a Bavarian cream on the inside. Those are awesome. However, if you've ever seen the movie Van Wilder, you can't really eat them anymore.
Yeah, I try to put that image out of my head when I'm eating them.
You can't unsee that. Once you've seen that, every time you put a eclair in your mouth, that image is going to pop in your head. So if you have not seen the movie Van Wilder and you like eclairs with Bavarian cream in the middle, I would strongly urge you to not watch that movie. It will damage you for life. Amy says, right, Amanda? And Patty says, oh, Amy, you were blessed. You all are blessed. I've been trying to tell you all that for years now. You all are blessed beyond compare, beyond measure. None of you are walking it alone anymore. You all have God on your side, I promise. I talk to him bi-weekly to make sure that stays that way.
I love Long Johns.
Me too. They are delicious. Especially if they're fresh, filled with Bavarian cream or Boston cream or, vanilla pudding, however you want to call it. It's the same thing. It's delicious. Amy says, I'll be fat if I eat those, Patty. Some things are worth the risk.
She'll be fat if she eat all those.
You can eat all those and then go take a long walk. Or eat one and take a little walk. Eat another one, take a little walk.
Why can't you just eat while you're walking?
You could eat while you're walking. That would be good too.
I said, I'm sure your son will help you, Amy.
I know you said that. I can read.
Yeah.
Aaron says, once my son gets here, I have to fix his plate. Like they pull him over again. Oh. When my son gets here, I have to fix his tail light. Plate light. Or they will pull him over again. Yeah, you need to fix that.
Fix his plate light.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a very important light. Because if they can't see it, they get suspicious. And we don't need any of that. And Patty says, who cares? Who cares what?
Amy getting fat if she eats all them donuts.
Amy, clearly. Amy says, he's already eaten quite a few. Your son has? Oh, I bet. How many did you say, 3 dozen? Yeah, you got a few to get through. That sounds like a good weekend to me, though. Good cheat weekend. Lots of donuts. Sounds delish.
Donuts and coffee.
Yes, definitely. Amy says, oh no, Aaron.
Yeah, Florida's bad about them tag lights.
They're bad about all kinds of things.
Yeah,
Florida cops ain't playing around. I'm pretty sure half of what they do is entrapment.
Well, they're real sticklers on them tag lights.
Yep. I think half of what they do is entrapment, but I don't think there's anybody there to stop them from doing it because I think the judges and the governor agree with them. So, and overall, I think it's a good thing. Overall, I think that they afford the citizens of Florida better opportunities to protect themselves than anywhere else and less worry. Here, if somebody breaks into my house and I shoot them, chances are I'm going to go to jail for that, for murder, even though they broke into my house. In Florida, the sheriff says, if you break into somebody's house, I'm telling them to shoot you right back out of their house. And no, there won't be any charges. I like that. I'll take a few speeding tickets if I have that. That being said, I don't want to live in Florida.
No.
Amy says, that's not good, Aaron. Kevin says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and everyone. Hey, Kev. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you, my friend. Amy says, double tap the screen to like the video. It's free and it helps with the algorithms. Yes. And he doesn't make very good movies, so he needs all the help he can get.
Hi, Kevin.
Al Gore. That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't have any rhythm either, but he's a worse movie maker.
I'm beginning to think Aaron don't have any rhythm either since he won't do his dance videos.
Oh, shots fired, Aaron. You gonna take that shit and tell her how it is? Hey, Lone Star, thanks for the subscription. Lone Star. Yogurt. I hate yogurt, even with strawberries.
Could be the band Lone Star.
I doubt it. I can't think of a Lone Star song. Every once in a while.
Yeah.
I can't sing a Lone Star song, so. Patty says, hello, Mr. Kevin. And Amanda says,
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin says, thanks for the reminder, Amy. Amy says, hello, Kevin. Hang on, my chat jumped.
Mine did too.
Where did it go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I found it. It's 8:33.
Thank you.
Kevin says, Night of the Trolls. Amy says, you're welcome, Kevin. Patty says, Saturday Night Live. SNL stands for Sadly No Laughing. Amy says, like and share, please. Yes, please like, share, subscribe, support, join. Super chats are available in the chat box. You want to show a little love? You want to throw a little clang-a-lang my way if you want to? BJ. You can do that right there, or hit that CashApp $ Jake Johnson Band and have a cup of coffee with me. Why don't you? If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. Get the first one. It's pretty. Also, we got stainless steel ones. They're great. And also, check out the Facebook page. The link is in the chat. It's called facebook.com/UntetheredLive chillin'. It is a great place to hang out. The ladies are killing it with the memes over there. You will at least be entertained. Go check it out. It's free. Kevin says, way better than Sadly No Laughing, Patty. I agree. And I don't even have to put on a silly wig. I mean, I will, but I don't have to. Patty says, it is, isn't it? It is. Kevin says, Patty, the old Saturday Night Live was good. Yes, it was. And then it died. And now it's just a political arm of the left wing. Lone Star says, God bless you and God bless your life and God bless your day. Thank you, Lone Star, as you as well, sir. God bless you and your family. And thank you for subscribing. We could use some fellas like you around here. I assume you're a fella. I don't know that, but I'm going with it. Kevin says, hello, Lone Star. Amy says, hi, Lone Star. Welcome. Rachel's here. She says, hi. Hello. Hi. How are you? Patty says, it was Buddy. I love Jane Curtin and Glenda Radner. Yeah. Back in the days when Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy were on there. That's when it was funny. And John Belushi, David Spade, and all those guys. Norm Macdonald. Amy says, I love you and Spaceballs, Lone Star. Amy says, hi, Rachel. And Rachel says, how are y'all? Fantastic. Can't complain. It's a beautiful day today. Can't talk, but other than that, I'm wonderful. Having a good day. How are you? Patty says, hi, Rachel. Kevin says, hello, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel, and hi, Lone Star. Welcome.
Welcome to the show. Amy says, I've never seen Van Wilder. Well, listen, it's a good movie, but eat your eclairs first. Do not watch that movie until you've finished eating the eclairs. I promise you, you will ruin your life if you do.
Yes.
And Rachel says, how are y'all? Wonderful. Fab Daddy's here. He says it's 104 today. Coffee time, too. Yes, it is, and mine's getting cold.
Well, you're not drinking it fast enough.
It's cold.
Well, would you like some more now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Amanda says, hey, Fab Daddy. And Amy says, hi, Fab Daddy. Kevin says, hello, Fab Daddy. What it is says, I love eclairs. So do I. Do not watch Van Wilder until you've eaten your eclairs. It's the last time I'm warning you. You'll thank me. Amy says, hi, what it is. Kevin says, hello, what it is. And Amanda says, I'm good, Rachel. How are you? And hi, what it is. What it is says, hello, Amanda and Untethered Live. Nice to see you, buddy. Are you having a good day? I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day. Linda Davis is here. She says, hi, all. How's everyone in chat? Heart. Fantastic, Linda. How are you, sweetie? Tag light, tag light, tag light. Gotta get that tag light, tag light. Gotta fix that tag light, tag light. Uh-oh, here come the cops. Amy says, hi, Linda. Kevin says, hello, Linda. And Amanda says, hi, Linda, hon. Just does this like a wheel spinning in the woods. And Rachel says, so you're talking now, huh, Amanda? Yep. Well, I put a microphone on her face. By popular demand. Apparently I wasn't cool enough. She's making coffee right now. That's the reason she's not responding. She'll talk to you as soon as she gets back to the microphone. And Kevin says, Rachel, Amanda has a cute voice. She thanks you very much, Kevin. Fab Daddy says, Gary screwed Mandy, and now we're all screwed. Gary's always getting in the way. Nobody better be screwing Mandy but me. And Amanda says,
I don't even know where you're at. I heard you saying Rachel, talking to Rachel about me talking.
8:41.
Let's see, where are you at, Rachel? About a week or so, all the nights for Bible studies.
That would be 8:41. Once more with feeling.
I had to find my spot. Yes, Rachel, for about a week or so. I'm doing all nights, but the Bible study nights.
And that's because I'm a professional.
Professional pain in my butt.
Mute the microphone when you cuss me.
No, it's more fun this way.
Amy says, tag light violation, fishing. Probably so, yeah.
Fishing expedition, yep.
Yep, trying to see what they can find.
I'm liking it, talking to Rachel about talking on the chat.
Rachel says, oh, Florida does suck. It does, kind of. Kevin says, especially if you break into somebody's house. Yeah, it sucks if you do that too, for real. Because they'll shoot you in Florida. And not go to jail for it, as they should. I mean, they should not go to jail for it. Patty says, I like Panama City Beach. Nice. Ray Game says, child of Seethan. Don't know who Seethan is. Sounds dirty, though. If you're trying to say Shaitan or Satan, you're wrong. Fab Daddy says, I like Lone Star beer. Yep. Kevin says, hello, Ray. And Amy says, hi, Ray Game. Welcome. Tamaumi Muhammad says, what's up, homie? What's happening, brother? Kevin says, hello, Tim. Amy says, hi, Tim. Welcome. Rachel says, what made you want to do voice, Amanda? I told you, I put a microphone in her face. Kind of hard to say no then. Amanda?
Yeah, that's, kind of what he did, yeah.
Pacekipper says, Joe Biden. Alexander Graham Bell, your turn. I'm sorry. Are we not just shouting out random names to strangers? Try hello. It works better in a crowd. Amy says, hi, Pacekipper, welcome. And Kevin says, hello, Pace.
Jake wanted me to, and to help with his voice and to be a part of it.
Yeah, she's already a part of it, but I'm getting to where I can't talk, so I need backup. That's why she's here. And Rachel says, cute, right? I thought you'd like it. Batshit Crazy's here. He says, what's up, pumpkin? And what's up, Batshit Crazy? Nice to see you. Come on in, take your shoes off. Amy says, here's the Facebook page. Right at the bottom of that Stream Elements post. There'll be Untethered Live chilling right there. Linda says, the guys ran into an issue with the basement. They tried to dig a hole for the footing, and it filled with water. Yeah, because you're in the basement, and water is only about 8 feet deep. So now they have to put in a French drain and auto sub pump first. Yep, get that water out of there, because it's going to keep filling up. You got to get concrete. Actually, I don't know why you can't use the water. Just pour concrete in it. It'll harden, suck up the water, and then drain off the rest. Just make sure that the concrete comes up level with the water. And then put your post on top of that when it hardens. You could do that. That'll stop the water from coming in because it'll seal off where the water's coming through. And Kevin says, hello, Batshit Crazy. Amy says, hi, Bat. So does Amanda.
Oh, hi, Bat. Sorry, my chat jumped. I was looking for it.
And here's the Facebook page. Again. Amy says, Linda is a French drain. Fancy. Now, let me read that again. Linda is a French drain. Fancy.
Oh, no, Linda. That sucks.
I think a French drain is just like a regular drain that just has an accent. It doesn't care and it smokes. Always has a baguette in a bag for some reason. You ever notice that? Every movie, watch. Now that you know this, you'll never be able to unsee it. Every movie in history that involves a person walking on a street with a bag of groceries, there will always be a baguette sticking out of the bag. An uncovered baguette at that. Everyone. Without fail. If there's a person in TV shows too, if there's a person walking down the street carrying groceries, there's a baguette sticking out of the bag. Why is that?
To drive people like you crazy.
What it is says, with a cold glass of milk. The eclairs? Oh, yeah. Or baguettes. What are you talking about?
The eclairs.
Rachel says, well, I lost $8K at the casino last night, and you didn't even super chat me $10. Really? Don't I give you more than the casino does? I'm just kidding. So it is what it is, Lamau. I'm trying to stay positive. 8K is a lot of money, Rachel. You need to pace yourself. Maybe give yourself a certain amount of money to go to the casino with that you don't mind losing, and leave the rest of it at home. That way you have something to come back to if you lose it all. What's important is, did you have fun doing it? That's what's important. If it's not fun, you shouldn't be doing it. Sue Woods is here. She says, hello, I made it today. Hello, Sue. How are you? Kevin says hi. And Sue says, I had a great birthday party last night. All right. I thought your birthday was on the 11th.
Her birthday's Monday, but she's not going to be here with us on Monday.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your party. Amy says, hi, Susie. Happy tomorrow birthday. Day after tomorrow birthday. And Sue says, hi, Kevin.
Hi, Sue.
And Linda says, I'm exhausted. I cooked and cleaned up for 15 and had 7 kids running around all day. That sounds exhausting. And Sue says, hi, Amy. My birthday's on Monday. And what it is says, I did tap that like button. Good. Spread the word, my friend. Sue says, hi, Amanda. And Kevin says, happy birthday Monday, Sue. And Debbie says, now I'm wondering what in the world did Van Wilder do to the eclair?
Wasn't Van Wilder that did it to the eclair.
Yeah, it's in the Van Wilder movie, though. And I'm not going to tell you. I'll let you discover that on your own. But I caution you. I'm telling you now. You will never be able to eat eclairs again for the rest of your life without seeing what is in that movie. It will scar you. Just so you know. Amy says, hi, Debbie. And Kevin says, hello, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Did I say Patty? I meant Debbie. And Sue says, thank you, Kevin. And Fab Daddy says, gerrymandering. Oh, Jerry and Mandy. Well, if you've been keeping up with politics, Fab Daddy, gerrymandering has been going on for quite some time. So the current lines that are there were in fact gerrymandered. So all they're doing is putting it back to another place. That's all. One could even say that the lines move every 4 years. Whoever's in charge moves the lines to their favor. And it's not really an excuse to say, well, they're gerrymandering. Yeah, the other guys did too. They're just titting for tatting. That's all. You got to watch those fellers. Patty says, Miss Amanda does have a pleasant voice. Sings like a canary.
Thank you, Miss Patty.
You ought to hear her come. I mean, when I call you, you go, I'm coming. And then you come. What did you think I meant? Oh, wow. Oh, you dirty girl. No, I meant when I call you.
Uh-huh.
Debbie says, Fab, Republican gerrymandering is a good thing. Devin Wolford. Nice name, Devin. What I do if I'm already weighing 875 pounds? I don't know, buy a casket? That might be a good start. Or some weights. Maybe a milkshake. Don't know. What do you do when you're 875 pounds? Do you think that's average? Normal? Above average? A little weird? How did you get to be 875 pounds? Can you exit the room you're in? If you are truly 875 pounds, I feel sorry for you, my friend. You have serious problems ahead of you. I hope you can get it under control. And Debbie says, Fab, read an article today that California leads the country in homeless and debt. Do you agree or disagree? I read an article today that says that California leads the country in homelessness and debt. Do you agree or disagree? Good question. And Kevin says, Fab Daddy, gerrymandering was invented by Democrats and has been going on for the last 100 years that I know of. They keep doing it. Every 4 years, whoever gets in charge redraws the lines in their favor. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but that's the way politics is done. It always has been. And typically it's just a thing to complain about, but they're going to do it anyway. And when the Democrats get back in charge, they'll move the lines back. And what it is says, oh dear, where are you tonight? Why did you go and leave me here all alone? Oh, where did you go tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and thought I found true love, but you met another and you were gone. Nice what it is. Hee-haw. Sue says, Devin, go to my 600-pound life. Yep, they'll give you some advice that you can use. And by the way, Devin, I'm sorry if I sounded a little hard on you, but you're in a bad situation. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're looking for that, you've came to the wrong place. I won't lie to you. What you've done to yourself is terrible, and you may die from it. But I'm rooting for you, and I'll be here to talk you through it if you decide you want to make it better. And I'll be your friend, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to pretend that what you're doing is good. It's not. It's a bad, bad way to live. It's very, very dangerous for your heart and for your lungs and for everything else, for that matter. So you need to get it under control. Seek a doctor's help. Seek guru's help. Seek some help. And I'll support you all the way. I'll be your number one cheerleader. Fab Daddy says, oh, gerrymandering is bad. Distortions of our vote. It really isn't. It should be 50-50. If any ferrying should happen. Well, see, here's the problem, Fab Daddy. All districts are not equal, so you can't have a 50-50 vote. That's why gerrymandering exists. Don't you know? People move around. Here's what's really bad. The majority of Democrats do not live in the district that they represent. That's why gerrymandering exists. You understand that? You go look at a Republican, he lives in the town he works for. Go look at them. Very few of them live outside of those lines. It's not 100%, but it's up there. It's 90s. At least 80% of Democrats do not live in the district that they represent because they are into power, not into community. Big difference there. Check it out. But all districts are not the same. Some have more people, some have more area, some have more value. So you need to draw the lines differently depending on the amount of people that are there and the property value and all that stuff. Amanda says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it.
You didn't need to read it anyway. I was the one going to read it.
Okay, well, you can't read it if you retract it.
I don't remember what it said either.
See?
Actually, yeah, I do.
What it is says it was hot here in Arkansas today. I bet. It's hot here in North Carolina today, too. I had the air conditioner on 60 degrees and it was burning up. Sue says it was 116 here today. Wow. I don't know what the temperature was today, but it was hot. Fab Daddy says, Debbie wouldn't shock me with the homeless. We do have temperate weather. What does that mean? You think the homeless are there for the weather? Is that what you think? You think California is so sweet that the people just want to live outdoors? I don't think that's what it is, Fab Daddy. What it is says, they are a tag team. They are a tag team in the mic. Yep, we are. Actually, we're not. We have two mics. Kiefer Unmanned Aviation says, rah. Hello, Kiefer. Welcome to the show. Fab Daddy says, Debbie, California is the fourth richest among all counties. Sorry. Why are there so many homeless people in the richest county? Does that seem normal to you? Why is there so much debt if they're the richest counties? So I hear you need debt to create wealth. That's incorrect. If that were the case, then I would be well on my way to my second $1 million. I gave up on my first, but I'm not making money because I'm in debt. That's not how debt works. You need deficit to create debt, not debt. Deficit, meaning you need something, you need people that need something. If you find a thing that is in need and fill that need, you become wealthy. Debt, you can't do it artificially. What it is the Bible, that's the book for me. That's a good book. I teach from it bi-weekly. Stream Versailles says, smoking sucks. Cancer and heart disease will kill you, dummy. I know, dummy. And yet I do it anyway. Does that tell you anything? Do you think it's a unbrained choice? You think I just fell into it backwards and don't know, haven't heard by now that smoking kills? I've been alive as long as I've been alive, but I hadn't figured it out yet. Here's a thought. Maybe you shouldn't smoke. You know what else sucks? A nosy Karen that can't keep their nose out of somebody else's business. That's also sucks. You can't smell my cigarette from where you're at. Are you telling me you can't stand the sight of one either? Maybe you should turn off the screen and close your blinds and stay away from anything that offends your sensitive little eyes. Also, you don't know me from Adam's house cat, so don't make a judgments. Don't assume things that makes you sound like an asshole. But thank you for your advice. Sue Wood says, movies do a lot of things that are weird in real life. Yes. You mean like hiding behind a table to protect yourself from a hail of bullets? That won't work. You can't, an engine block won't stop a bullet. A little wooden table ain't going to do it. Or like jumping into a bathtub to protect yourself from an explosion and fire. That won't do it. A lot of tropes in movies, like talking to somebody from one car to another car in a normal voice. Or when skydiving, talking to each other in skydive. Can't do it. Kevin says, Fab Daddy, I was unaware that California was a county or a country. I think he meant counties. The counties in California are the most rich in any state. I think that's what he meant to say. And Fab Daddy says, super hot there, Sue. Debbie says, Fab, I read California leads in unemployment too. What's your theory on that? Sue says, I'm in Vegas. It's hot here. It's always hot in Vegas. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So it's always hot in Vegas. And Fab Daddy says, don't believe what you read. Really? Well, how about first-hand evidence? Because I know people in California. And Kevin says, Debbie, unemployment leads to wealth too, LOL. Right? It's really hard to be a Democrat these days. I don't envy you that, because you got to swallow a lot of bullshit to miss what's right in front of your face. Walter Davis says, good evening all. Hey, Walter. Nice to see you, buddy. What it is says, LOL, elephant.
Hi, Walter.
Kevin says, hello, Walter. Are you having fun? What it is? What elephant?
Probably the unemployment leading to wealth too.
Nah, I don't see where you get elephant from that, but I hear you.
Address the elephant in the room.
Did I say that?
No.
You have to fill me in what it is. I didn't get the joke. Kevin says, hello, Walter. Linda says, hi, Walter. Fab Daddy says, Kevin is a fart little smeller. Can't use the word little. It breaks the wordplay. It's a fart smeller. Kevin is a smart fella. Believe that. Kevin says, Fab Daddy, LOL. And Debbie says, well, if it's what I'm thinking, if my husband tasted like an eclair, I would have had to be surgically removed. I'm just saying.
Debbie's my kind of girl.
I do. Walter says, hi, Jake, Debbie, Fab, Kevin, Sue, Kiefer, what it is, Amy, Linda, Amanda, Batshit, Ray, and Patty. And Rachel. What it is the license plate light is actually called an inspection light by Department of Transportation, also known as DOT. Thank you. Appreciate that, because I couldn't think of what it was. Sue Wood says, hi, Walter. And Batshit says, yo, wait, D. Yo, Walt, D. Walter Davis. Got it. Yo, Walt D. Got it. Fab Daddy says, I've used that line on waggling my index for a gal to come talk. Wiggle your index finger for a gal to come talk. She inquires what I want, and I tell her to see if I can make her come with my finger. Yep, I've heard that one before. Fab Daddy, it's a good line. I don't think they appreciate it, but we enjoy it. Walter says hi. And what it is, why is Politi-tics a part of life? Sorry, why is politics a part of life? Why does it exist? Because men want power. As long as that is the case, they will invent ways to get power. Politics is just a modern way of doing that. But it happens in every facet of life. For example, I am a guitar player and a singer in a band. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I'm kind of retired now, by force. But 90% of my job is politics. It's glad handing and creating an atmosphere and selling an idea. More so than my talent as a guitar player or my talent as a singer, my talent as a communicator is the thing that made that work. So it's like that everywhere. It's like that here. There are people that I don't necessarily like that I have to communicate with. And then there are people that I love that I have to pull back from to make everything equal. You know what I'm saying? Communication is politics. So that's why it exists. If you want something to run smooth, you got to politic a little bit. Batshit says KKK, Jim Crow, poll tax, slavery, intermittent World War II, or internment, World War II Japanese internment camps. Got it. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All Democrats. True. Pretty much every bad thing we have is Democrats. And pretty much every solution to those bad things was a Republican that did it. And yet we are villainized every year. Walter says districts should be as close to a square grid as possible. These amoeba-shaped things that look like a virus are bullshit. I mean, that's the way those places are laid out, so. Rich S., what's up, friends? Hey, Rich. Nice to see you, buddy. Walter says, hey, Rich. Kevin says, hello, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Linda says, hi, Rich. Lady B's here. She says, hey, everybody. Love y'all. Heart. Smiley face with no eyes.
Hi, lady. It has eyes. It just got hard for eyes.
Hearty eyes. Hi, Lady B. How are you? Kevin says, hello, lady. Linda says, hi, Lady B. Mohammed Taha says, Iran or Israel? Georgia or Florida? Your turn. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Are you shouting random places to a stranger? Try hello. It works better when you walk into a room full of strangers. Batshit Crazy says, Reaction Junction. What's your fun? What's your function? Reaction Junction, what's your function? Somebody's been listening to an old-timey radio station, haven't we? Oh, Muhammad Tata is a troll, I see. Don't repeat yourself. I read it the first time. And Walter says, hi, lady.
Don't keep repeating yourself. Hi, thanks, Linda.
If you do that one more time, you're going to get banned out of here. Stop doing that. The question is ridiculous. It's the reason I didn't answer it. But I read the chat. Now you're just taking up real estate. What it is it kind of like meat in the movie Porky's, where meat put his meat in a hot dog bun and laid it on a plate and presented it to an old lady who was a Karen, kind of, but with a dog. Think about an eclair. Think about the creamy filling. Now think about a jackass that loves eclairs and a college dorm wants revenge on the jackass who loves eclairs. And they happen to have an old bulldog named Ballsack. You follow? Okay. By the way, did you guys see that Charlie Kirk and South Park used my joke? They did. It's all over the internet. Check it out. And that's my joke. I wrote that joke many years ago. But they used it. So somebody's been watching the show. Lady B says, hey, back at you. Thank you for being friendly and welcoming. That goes to everybody that says hi to me. And hugs, Jake. Well, thank you, Lady B. I need all the hugs I can get. That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you for being so inviting and warm. What it is says gerrymandering. Is that anything like jerry rigging? Yes. It's exactly like that, only with cities. And Sue says, it doesn't stay in Vegas anymore. Too many people filming with phones to post on social media. Those were the mob days when they deal with problems in the back rooms of casinos. Right on. I miss those days. Those days had potential. You could make things happen in those days. Can't really anymore. The movie Casino was filmed in my neighborhood, says Sue. Nice. I've seen that movie. It's a good movie. Lady B says, typo, being friendly. Oops, I got it. I found out what you were saying. I read typoes, Lady B. It's okay. Amy says, how long was I asleep? I fell asleep watching the show. Well, we did not notice. Thank you for telling us. Now we know you're dozing off. Sue says, Amy. Kevin says, Amy, LOL.
About 20 minutes, Amy. Cat nap. Sorry.
Pot kills.
It's
brain
not
cells.
that. I was reading my phone. You forget, I'm keeping up with the bottom of the chat still, too.
Yeah. Well, keep up with the middle of the chat.
I did. I read my part. It's your turn now.
Sue says, if we were in real life, I'd run over to hug you, Amy. We are in real life. What are you talking about? Are you not in real life? Are you an AI bot?
She's a figment of our imaginations.
Did I imagine you today? I'm in real life. Are you guys fake? Amy says, I have to be to work early tomorrow. It's going to be an 11-hour day. I got to go to work tomorrow, too. 7 days a week for me this week. But fortunately, I don't have to stay there very long. I just have one little job I got to finish up. It'll take about an hour. That's what happens when you make the big bucks. Amy says, oh, Susie, thanks. Lady Biker says, thinking of you, Amy. Did you change your name, Lady B? Or is that a new Lady B? Amanda says,
My chat jumped. Hold on a second.
9:16.
Well, go to bed, Amy. Sleep good. We love you, Nighters, hon. See you tomorrow.
Kevin says, hello, Lady Biker. Lady Biker says, hey, Kevin, hugs. And what it is says, debt is needed for write-offs for people that help to set taxes. If they have something to write off, they write it off. Yeah, I can see that. I don't have anything to write off. It takes every penny I can make just to get by. Speaking of which, VJ. Yeah. Sue says, I slept most of the day away. I'm getting too old to party the night away. And I don't drink alcohol, smoke, do drugs, etc. But thank God you don't. If you did, you'd really have a hangover. You think you slept most of the day away today? Try tying one on and smoking all night. See how you feel in the morning. Do a bunch of drugs. What it is if. That. Are we doing adverbs now? Next. Mr. Kirby, watch your mouth. My mustache is elite, sir. You cannot sniff it.
Only I can sniff it.
And if you did sniff it, you probably wouldn't recognize the scent. Phone's blowing up.
Tell your girlfriend to go away.
That was not my girlfriend. My sugar daddy. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You know who you are. What it is says, if you go to the outskirts of Vegas about 20 miles or so and look back, Vegas isn't a big crater in the in the heat, let alone on flat land. I'm sure maybe more intense than a crater. Really? Are you saying Vegas looks like a big crater? It might be a big crater. There's a lot of that going on out Midwest. More than likely, though, it's a washout from the flood. And Lady Biker says, Jake, Lamau, Florida or Georgia. Jake, make us laugh. I'm trying real hard. My deadpan sense of humor doesn't land for everybody, but I'm working on it. Don't repeat yourself, Mr. Kirby. I blocked your first one, I'll block your second one. What was Pam Bondi blathering today, says Kevin. Okay. Apparently, they're trying to arrest the president of El Salvador, Maduro. So she got on TV today and offered a $50,000 or $50 million reward. I can't remember which. 50-something. Reward for any information leading to his arrest, to which everybody immediately replied, he's at the presidential palace in El Salvador. Where's my check? I take CashApp. Right? The president of El Salvador, Maduro, tweeted out the same price for Epstein files. So, touche. She made herself look like a jackass in front of the whole country. Not doing a good job over there in the AG's office. I don't know what she's up to, but it's not good. She's making the whole team look rough.
Kirby, be nice or go away.
Sue says, Vegas is in a valley in the Rocky Mountains. We are surrounded by mountain ranges. The mountains are why the Mojave is the driest desert in North America. Las Vegas means the meadows. Interesting. Lady B says, did they pay you? Me? Did who pay me?
Charlie Kirk and...
No, they did not. No, it's just a joke. It's an obvious joke. It's the master debater joke. I've been calling myself a master debater for years, and they went and used that joke as the punchline for the Charlie Kirk bit on South Park. And it's a great bit, and they deserve to run with it. It'd be nice if they paid me, but I can't copyright something that I just came up with off the spot. Lady B says, I'm inviting and warm until somebody throws off on America. And Jake, you always get them first. Ha ha. Love to all. I try. I don't let nobody talk no trash, that's for sure. Amy says, speaking of cream-filled eclairs, hook smashed. Yummy. Nice. Sue says the Las Vegas Valley used to have literally underground rivers, but in the early 20th century, after the railroad auctioned off land in lots, creating Las Vegas, the quickly growing population caused the area to dry up as people left their wells uncapped. And Amanda says,
eat one for me, Amy.
Amy says, she means in person. I know what in real life means. Debbie says, I am a figment of your imagination, or you are of mine. Which is it? We can't both be a brain floating in a nebula. And Lady Biker says, I've always been Lady B. I ride a Yamaha. Well, the first time you talked, it said Lady B. Now it says Lady Biker ! Which is why I had a confusion. Because that usually means a different person with a different name. But if you changed it, or if YouTube changed it, I was just interested. Sue says, yes, Amy. I can't exactly run up to you to hug you online, but virtual hugs are great when needed. Amen. And Lady B says, I am on borrowed time with riding. I know this. We all are. I ride a Harley, by the way. And Lady B says, I get high on Jesus. Everyone at Jake's Live. Well, we try. We try to be potent. Kevin says, time is promised to no one. True. And we all are on borrowed time, and we're getting older every day, and we got more time behind us than we have in front of us. But life is what it is. You just got to keep going until you can't go no more. Ride this bitch till the wheels fall off. That's it. That's all you can do. Amy says, Lady B, I've been watching older episodes of Jake's Bible study. I started in Genesis, and now I'm in Leviticus. How are you enjoying those, by the way? Are they worth the price of admission? Which is free. Amy says, amen, Kevin. 50 million pesos. I thought it was million, but it sounded weird when I said it out loud. Sue says, yes, actually, Jake, there is archaeological evidence here. There is archaeological evidence here, which you can see at spring preserves and Red Rock, both in Las Vegas area, of when the area was completely underwater. Yes, I know. I've done quite a lot of research in that area. Because I maintain that all of the geological formations all over the world point to a worldwide flood all at the same time. All the fossil beds, all of the unique structural land damage that can only be caused by being underwater, clams on top of mountains, the whole nine. I don't know why this isn't obvious to everybody. It's one of the things that led me to the Bible, because the Bible tells you right there in the first book what happened. And Lady Biker smiles all over the place. Galessa Feldberger says, I have an addiction to Lollyhinta. I need advice. Stop watching Lollyhinta. First of all, it's a cartoon. Get a hold of yourself. Second of all, stay away from my daughter. Third of all, that's it. Get a hold of yourself and stay away from my daughter. Amy says, I'm not impressed with Pam Bondi. I'm not either. I wanted to be. I wanted to like her really badly. She's very pretty, and she seems like she's in good spirits and a real go-getter. And I wanted her to be one of those like, remember the first press secretary, how much of a bulldog she was? Just a warrior for Trump. I wanted her to be like that. And she just ain't doing it. She seems to be, out of all the people I've seen in his administration, she seems to be the one that has something to hide. And I don't like her for that. I'm suspicious of her. And it makes me suspicious of other people who I might have overlooked because I believe in Trump. I don't like that either. Sue says, I hope you all are enjoying my fascination with local history facts. Yes, ma'am. That's why we're here, to learn stuff and talk about stuff. And that's definitely stuff. So keep doing what you're doing. JKG11LM10 says something in another language. Glassfieldbuyer, welcome, says Amy. I don't know what that is, but with all things, turn to God. Amen. Lollyhinta is a cartoon of very young Japanese girls doing what you would expect them to be doing. And very young. Lady B says, Sue, I am enjoying your knowledge. Thank you. And Amy says, and JKG11 English, please. Thanks. Yeah, this is America. We speak English here. It's the first and only language. You can have another language. Don't expect us to know it, though. We're kind of redneck like that. Amy says, good night, y'all. I'll see you at Bible study tomorrow night. Amy, get you some rest, honey. I know you're tired. I am too, and I'm going to go to bed very soon. So God bless you. This is not going to be a midnight night. I promise. But I love you, and get some rest. Kevin says, good night, Amy. Linda says, good night, Amy. And Amanda says, good night, Amy.
Good night, Amy.
And Sue says, night, Amy, I love you. And what it is says, Vegas sits in a crater. All right. I think Arizona does, too. Or parts of it. Lady B says, Amy, I got to do that. Can you do it without Facebook? I don't have Facebook. Kevin, I agree. Time isn't promised to anyone. You can't visit our Facebook page without Facebook, no.
I think she's talking about watching the previous Bible studies.
Oh, the Bible studies, yes. They're on this channel. Just go up to my channel there where you subscribed at and go over to playlists, and it's in there.
Start with everything is wrong with everything wrong with everything in Genesis or something.
Everything wrong with everything wrong in Genesis.
Yes.
That's a good series. It's 20 episodes long, and it takes down an atheist while teaching about Genesis. But then I do Genesis proper and go through the whole thing. And Walter Davis says, Las Vegas was the center of an island sea. There are whale fossils in the desert. Yeah, there are all in every desert. Because the world was underwater. That's why there are whale fossils in every desert. And also, deserts are a modern thing. They haven't always been here. Trust me on that. I could explain it to you, but it'd take a while. But the thing is deserts is a reaction to the flood. A lot of things changed after the flood. The whole world changed after the flood. The atmosphere changed. And when it did, a lot of places dried up, and a couple of places became deserts. Glassfell Brewer says, very reasonable advice. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Amanda says, yes, lady. And she's talking about the Bible study here on this channel with Jake. And Lady B says, I'm fascinated, Sue. Thank you. And Sue says, I'm going to go for tonight. Have a wonderful night. But no need to rush off, Sue. We love you. And Lady B says, sweet dreams, Amy. And Amanda says,
night. I don't know. Where am I at?
good night, Sue.
Oh, okay. Good night, Sue.
Kevin says, good night, Sue. Aaron says, I'm back. Did you fix the light? Did you fix the plate? Did you work out?
Welcome back, Aaron.
Welcome back, Aaron. Kevin says, hello, Aaron. And Linda says, welcome back, Aaron.
$9:36.
I got it. Aaron says, what did I miss? I can't hear, but I can chat. How about that? What it is peace starts with us and spreads from there. I like that. It's very good. Aaron says, hi, Linda. And Amanda says,
Not much, Aaron. LOL. Slow night, actually.
it is a slow night. Good, because I'm tired. Lady B says, good night, John Boy. Walter says, Pam Bondi has a lot on her plate. She has buildings of files to go through that are all corrupted. They were handed over to the people who gave us January 6th insurrection. That was not Russiagate, right? Yeah, I understand that. But her handling of it is poor. She has a tendency of opening her mouth before she thinks about it. But I don't think she realizes how eagle-eyed the rest of the country is. And that this has been a problem that the government has had for a long time. They don't understand technology. And they have no idea that everybody out here in their mama's basement is smarter than they will ever be in terms of technology. And when they say a thing, people are inquisitive. They go look. Because you're supposed to trust people when they say stuff. And they uncover things that aren't the way they were said. And it makes the government look bad. Linda Davis says, LOL, Lady B. And what it is says, I got a Honda Magna 754 cylinder. It's fun. I had a Honda American Classic Edition, and I loved it. The Honda Shadow. And it looks just like my Harley. And I loved it. I mean, everything's plastic, but I loved it. It was a great bike. Then I bought my Harley, and I sold the Honda, and I regret selling it. And if I ever get another bike, it'll be a Honda or a Yamaha. Walter says she is competent enough to go through it and not just release it all. I hear you. And Lady B says, playlist, got it. Thank you. All right. Yep, there's over 1,000 videos in there. It should keep you busy for a while. Don't get lost, though. I know it's exciting, but keep one foot on the ground. Aaron says, having dinner with my son. Well, tell your son we said hello. And don't look too closely at the screen. Walter says, another booby trap set by the Democrats. Oh, I know that's true. Well, they did everything they could to screw it all up. My thoughts on the subject were the Epstein files were in the stronghold of the Democrats, FBI, for like 9 years. Do you think there's any evidence left? There isn't. They've long since got rid of all that. If there ever was any evidence, it's gone. That's my thought. And Amanda says,
nice, Aaron. What's for dinner?
Lady B says, hey, Aaron, hugs. Kevin says, and not one damn Bigfoot fossil. Not one. Out of all the fossils, not one Bigfoot fossil. Maybe they could swim. You ever notice that all the fossils are of animals that don't swim real well? Except for the fish. That's weird, but they get covered over pretty easy. Lady B says, Linda, hey, sweetheart, love you. Aw. I love you, Lady B. You're so bright. Aaron says, hey, Lady Biker. And Linda says, you're a good dad, Aaron. Yes, he is. Rich says, FYI, Amanda's volume is about half of Jake's volume. Should it be the other way around? No, it should not. It is what it is because I need better equipment. Aaron says, thank you, Linda. Lady B says, what it is, Hondas are great. I rode one of my biker safety courses 18 years ago. Love Honda, but I'm a loyal Yamaha girl. I like that Yamaha Virago. That's a pretty nice bike. And there's another one, too, that's a little bit more posh than that one. It's a little nicer. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a good bike. Yamaha makes good, solid stuff. I am not one of those ride or die Harley guys. It's just a brand. I'm not married to the brand. If it's a good bike, I'll say it's a good bike. And Goldwing is about as good as you can get. Walter says, how's your weekend, Linda? Aaron says, LOL. All I see is Jake's gestures, but I can't hear him. My son is laughing so much. That was the idea.
But he didn't realize you didn't have no sound. You weren't talking.
I did realize that's why I did that.
He didn't realize that he can't hear. I said, thanks, Rich. I wasn't close enough to the mic. I don't eat it like Jake does. LOL.
I told you to keep you one fist away from the mouth. This is a good place for it, but you can get closer.
You like to feel it tickling your mustache.
That's how I know where it's at, because I'm not looking at it. And if you're a musician and you're jumping all over the stage, you kind of got to have some kind of clue. You're in the dark. All the lights are pointing that way. So I like to feel it. That way I know where it's at.
That's what she said.
Linda says, busy, Walter. I had a full house today. And Amanda says,
My chat jumped.
I have a softer voice than Jake does.
And I have a softer voice than Jake does.
Well, that means you need to get closer to the microphone. I can literally not turn it up any louder. It is as loud as it'll go. Debbie says, Aaron, and for those that don't speak sign language, Jake just said there's a lot of fornication going on in the end zone. Walter says, I had a 70s Yamaha 250 and never got it done. I've had a few of those that didn't run. My first bike was a Honda, the kind that you see hanging up in the Honda shop every time you go in, the one with the banana seat. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a 350. Or it might have been a 550. It was the smallest street bike you can get. And it was the old school Hondas from the 80s. It had a banana seat on it. And it's a classic Honda now. But then I graduated to a CB650, which was considerably a bigger bike. And I loved that bike. And I painted it orchid. It was an orchid-colored bike. I loved it. And then years went by, and I ended up on a Harley. Lady B says, what are y'all eating, Aaron? Aaron says, Perkins. Nice.
That's all he was doing, Aaron. He was doing hand signs and no words. LOL. It was funny. I was laughing too. Nice, Aaron.
What it is I had an hour and a half message along with 25 minutes dry sauna. Massage. Nice.
Happy ending massages?
Yeah, was it a happy ending? I'm asking for a friend.
Me too.
Aaron says, Jake is a funny man. Thank you. Thank you very much. I try.
Yes, Aaron.
Walter says, Pam Bondi needs a chemtrail warrior on her side. Okay. I hadn't seen chemtrail warrior in a while. Debbie says, Perkins has the best breakfast mess ever. I like their coffee, too. They don't have Perkins around here anymore. They sold out. I didn't even know they were still in existence. Either that or the Perkins there is owned by a person and not the franchise, one or the other. But we used to have a Perkins down here in Greenville that we'd go and have coffee at all the time. They had great coffee. Linda says, Aaron, they have really good coconut cream pie. Aaron says, that's my favorite. I don't think I've ever had coconut cream pie.
It's delicious.
I don't like coconut, so. Occasionally. There are things like German chocolate I can handle coconut. I don't like that strong coconut flavor. What's weird is I like coconut, like out of the tree. I'll break it open and eat the meat right out of it, and that's fine. But I don't like shredded coconut. They do something to it. It just ain't the same. Maybe it's the texture. I don't know. It's like eating confetti. Or that grass that you put in Easter baskets. That's what it's like eating. You remember that? Does anybody remember the Easter basket grass?
Yes.
Linda says, me too, Aaron. Smiley face. Aaron says, my son got a whole pie. Wow. And Rich S says, the only good Epstein I can think of is a Juan Epstein. Remember him? No. I know there can only be one. Lady B says, Jake, Yamaha rules. I have owned 6 Yamahas, 0 breakdowns, excellent resale value, never lost a penny, and made some profit. Jake, y'all gotta ride the dragon. I haven't heard of the dragon. What is that? But I do like Yamaha. And like I said, and I can't think of the name of it. It might be Vulcan or something like that. But there's a one that's a little better than the Virago. The Virago is the Harley-shaped Yamaha, but there's one a little better than that. And I like that one too. But if I were going to have one, it'd probably be a Virago. I'm certainly not opposed to riding one. Aaron says, we have something in common. Coconut is love or hate. Right on. Amanda says, hello. Amanda says,
LOL, Aaron. I bet he learned it from you.
Probably. Aaron says, yep. What it is says, what about the Middle East desert? Yep, that one too. What about it? Is it always been a desert? No. No, that one's a desert because it was cursed by God. And I can point chapter and verse where that happened. There's a big word in the Bible. I don't know if you ever heard it or not. But it's if. I-F. It's the biggest word in the Bible. Because a lot of times, especially in the first 5 books, God will say, if you do such and such, then I will do such and such. If you do not do such and such, then I will do such and such. And you can look at the world today and tell what happened. And Kevin says, Lady B, I've rode the dragon tail. I've ridden the dragon too, but it was not a bike. Just kidding. I've chased the dragon. I've never ridden it.
That's chasing the dragon.
Walter says, I regret selling my Mayo. Right on. What it is says, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Nope, not her. Yeah, she was his girl for a while, but I'm talking about the blonde one. Can't think of her name right now. You know the one. The first one. Not the one he's got now. She's badass too. Kaylee McEnany. That's the one I'm thinking of. She was a bulldog. She had that white binder folder with all the tabs sticking out. Somebody would say some dumb shit from CNN, and she'd open the book, and she says, well, on this date you said such and such, and on this date you said such and such, and on that date you said such and such. What do you think about that? And they would be dumbfounded. She had it locked in. That's what I wanted Pam Bondi to be, but she just ain't. Aaron says, who's Lady Biker? Sounds familiar. Lady B is Lady B. Lady B says, Virago was my first one. Nice. Navy blue. Always had folks wanting to buy it from me. I rode it all the way to Mobile, Alabama. Orange Beach. I don't know if that's the same place. Mobile. I rode it all the way to Mobile, Orange Beach. With no windshield and small foot pegs. My first one. I know about that small foot peg thing. I put some running boards on mine immediately. I don't like the small footboard. Pegs. I don't like them. I feel like I'm going to fall off or get knocked off. And I also know about the windshield thing. And I am spoiled rotten. I used to ride bikes without windshields all the time. Now that I'm old and I got that windshield on my Harley, I was like, nope, I ain't ever going back. I like this. It's very nice. No wind. No buffeting. No wind burnt face. Because I wear a half helmet, so I get a face full of wind.
Just buzzards.
And buzzards. Yep. I've been hit in the head by a buzzard before, and that was not fun. Amanda says, Lady B is Lady Biker, Aaron. Aaron says, oh, I have no idea.
LOL, Aaron.
Walter says, an old CB 100, 150, 350. Right on. Lady B says, first Virago, second Yamaha V-Star. I like the V-Star too. That's all right. My brother-in-law has a V-Star, I think. A V-Star 650. Third one was a Yamaha V-Star 650, and the third one was a Yamaha Silverado 1100. And I ride it now. Black and red. Nice. Yeah, if I was going to have a bike, it'd have to be 1100 or up. I guess the 750 is all right if you're a Yamaha. I mean, if you're a Honda. I don't know what the 750 looks like in Yamaha, but the 750 Shadow ain't bad. It's a little bit small, but it ain't bad. Lady B says, I love coconut. Folks say it's shredded toenails. Kind of tastes like it anyway. Kevin says, I had a 600 Kawasaki crotch rocket. Scary fast. Oh, yeah. The only time I've ever ridden a crotch rocket, I bought a Honda Interceptor that had been burned, that it caught on fire. I bought it from some dude. And me and my buddy spent about 4 days rewiring it, rebuilding the wiring harness. And we got it running. And I took it out and I rode it. And I did not realize that underneath the cowl where the headlight is, there was a water container, a radiator. I didn't know that. So I didn't put any water in it. And it run hot and it blew up and knocked me off of it and burned a big hole in my leg. But it did go about 200 miles an hour, so that was fun for about 30 minutes. And I gave that joker away just as fast as I could. Sold it. Traded it for a car or something. I don't remember now. That was a long time ago. I still got the scar.
I'm saying, still got the scar on your leg.
Aaron says, that's horrible. Rich says, Juan Epstein was from Welcome Back, Kotter. Nice. So was John Travolta. Walter says, I had a 480 or a Honda dirt bike. Scary fast two-stroke. I've never owned a two-stroke. Lady B says, V-Star is larger than Virago. It might be V-Star that I'm thinking about. You're too small for a Virago. V-Star fits you too good. 2700. Right on. I'm too small for a Virago. Well, I ride a Harley, and it's bigger than a Virago, so. Walter says, had to change the clutch when you filled it with gas. I hear you. Burn the clutch out. And Lady B says, nice, Walter, and hugs, Aaron. And Walter says, Mayo was the best bike I had. Who makes that? You know what bike I'd really like to own, though? I'd like to own an Indian. I've never ridden an Indian. I don't know anything about them other than that they exist. But they are pretty. They're some pretty bikes. Kevin says, the Dragon Tail is the Blue Ridge Smoky Mountains. Oh, yes. I have roads around here like that. I do know what you're talking about. And Kevin says, one of the best places in the country to ride. I'd like to check that out. And Walter says, the only street bike I had was a Honda CB500 for fun bike. I think mine was a 650, my CB650. And that was 1993 when I had that. And the lady says, shields are running rule, Jake. I agree. Kevin says, Lady B, I agree. Lady B says, Aaron, smiley, smiley, smiley. Love air-cooled bike. Yeah, I did not know that existed back then. I was a teenager, so I just missed it. And when I learned the hard way. Lady B says, exactly. Carrying bucket list for all. I got addicted to the dragon. It's an adrenaline rush. Right on. I'd love to go ride it. And Linda says, 2 of my sons have Harleys. One has a Kawasaki and my daughter-in-law has an Indian. Nice. I'd like to ride that Indian. Lady B says, Virago is small. I love the motor. I loved it. The motor was the frame on the Virago. Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen them up close. They're pretty. Aaron says, driving while listening. Be careful, Aaron. Lady B says, I agree, Kevin. And be safe, Aaron, says Linda. Lady B says, nostalgia, Walter. Aaron says, Ethan says, hi, family. What's up, Ethan? Nice to see you, buddy. Kevin says, Aaron, hello, Ethan. And Linda says, hi, Ethan. And Walter says, Mako is from Australia. They made Mako the best dirt bike ever made. Right on.
Hi, Ethan. Welcome to the family. Drive safe, Aaron.
Kevin says, Walter, now I remember them. Lady B says, typo, Kevin, a bucket list. And I love that, Linda. Yeah, I love that your whole family's riding. That's pretty nice. I couldn't get my kids interested in it. I wanted them to ride. Kevin says, Walter, back in the 70s. Dale says, hi, I'm Chinese Malaysian. Hi, I'm North American. Kevin says, hello, Douse. And Dale says, hello. Lady B says, hand gestures, haha. Every now and then I get a good one in there too. And Linda says, welcome, Douse. And Douse says, LOL. And that is the bottom of the chat. And Walter says, hi, Ethan. All right, it is 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed the conversation. Anytime y'all want to ride, just let me know. If you're in the area, I'll come out and ride with you. Kevin says, good night, all. Good night, everybody. Lady B says, good night. Good night, God bless, and keep your rubber side down. Absolutely. Dow says it's 10:05 a.m. It's 10:05 p.m. here. You must be on exactly the opposite side of the world. And Amanda says,
Nighters all. See you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Bible study. Much love, y'all.
You got it. Debbie says, good night, all. Dow says, in Cowla Lumber. Nice. I don't know where that's at. Lady B says, shiny side up, rubber side down. Right on. Linda Davis says, good night, all. See you all tomorrow for Bible study. Heart. Yes, ma'am. And Walter says, next bike is going to be a home built with a Wisconsin engine. Nice. Of something no one will recognize. I would love to see that. I've often thought about building a motorcycle. I like the idea of choppers. And I've got a Yamaha out there that is just dying to be, bobbed. It's an old 80s Yamaha, too. Old one. It still runs and needs a lot of work. But I'm thinking about bobbing it and making it a chopper. We'll see. Dowsdale says, good night. Good night, buddy. Hit that subscribe button. Come back to see us tomorrow night. It's going to be a good show. Walter says, or a Triumph or a Norton. Triumph is a good bike, too. Lady B says, love that, Walter. All right. Thank you all so much. God bless each and every one of you. When you go out into the world tomorrow, be nice to somebody. Have a good night. Get you some rest. It's Saturday night. I'll see you tomorrow night for some Bible study. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your input and your great conversations. And most of all, thank you for watching. Say good night.
Good night, y'all. Love you.